Hello, I'm Eve Jackson in Paris. In today's show, the star of the French art scene as Gréaud undertakes what no other contemporary artist before him has achieved. He joins us in the studio. Thanks for joining us. A massive metal whale with a living chamber inside and a hip-hop concert made for sea creatures. Such is the work of today's guest. Now he's undertaken one of the largest imaginable projects for a contemporary artist, a combined exhibition with the Louvre and the Pompidou Centre in Paris. It's the first time the museums have ever collaborated on such a project. Gréaud, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, I know it's difficult to explain your exhibitions because they're not very standard, but try and tell us what we're going to see at the Louvre and at the Pompidou.
So basically the project takes place in the center of both of the institution. You have on one side a Ville sculptures, 9 meters high, and on the other side you have a sort of a spiral staircase that's spinning on its own, and it's 15 meters high, and you have cliff divers that are falling every minute from 12 meters high, so it's become a sort of a human metronome.
Okay, all right, well, it's probably better to have a look at it. Let's give people at home a taster of what to expect.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure if that explains anything to people. They have to go and see it for themselves. But a giant kind of sculpture and stuntmen jumping from a tower. What's the link?
The link basically is the link that every viewer will project between the distance, the physical distance and the mental distance in between two of the work. But basically it's about a kind of all the project is about weird balance, let's say. But you have to experience it.
Okay. You keep challenging this notion of exhibitions and art's role and like how art like lasts and how it exists over time.
Yeah.
What's wrong with like the traditional exhibition that we go and see in the Louvre, for example? I mean, why don't you do that?
I think nowadays artists have to challenge the viewers and reinvent the process, the procedures, and the protocol and the form that art is taking. I mean, we've been through conceptual art and pop art and everything, and nowadays contemporary artists have to reinvent the rules of what could be displayed. The nature of the work itself is changing, the rule paradigm is changing, so it's just a natural thing to get into synergy with everything that is changing so fast.
And what about the name of this kind of duo exhibition?
Actually, I don't pronounce it because I want the viewer to pronounce it the way he wants. So it kind of play with the idea of the show itself. But basically, it's a sign. It's a sign. You have these two parenthèses and this vertical bar. So it kind of make an echo of the verticality of both of the work. But I let the viewer pronounce it I, E, or 1, L. I don't know.
However they want. I mean, what is the aim of your art? You talk a lot about like the viewer. I mean, what's the aim? What do you want?
Basically, in everything I do, it's the project that make the authority of what the form it will take. So basically, the idea is at the center of the work, and then the form that it will take will have to kind of respect the original idea. So it could take any kind of form.
And you've been on the art scene for more than 10 years,
Yes.
is that right?
Yeah.
And you've shown all over the world. At 26, you had your first acclaimed show. You won the Prix Ricard. Then in 2008, you took over the Palais de Tokyo, the first artist to do that.
Yeah.
Still very young, though. I mean, do you still feel like a young artist? I mean, that's how I introduced you, but maybe you feel like a very experienced older artist now.
I don't know about that. I don't know at which point you're not a young artist anymore. So I will see about that. I mean, every day there's a new idea and a new obsession, and it keeps me going on. So I don't ask myself if I'm still a young artist or anything. I just try to play the game and follow follow what I have to do.
Okay, Loris, thank you so much. Now,
Thank you
your
very
work
much.
is showing at the Pompidou Centre until the 15th of July and the Louvre until January. Now, you come from a very varied background, music, art, cinema. What about theatre? Is that something that's had any influence on you?
Not really.
Okay.
I
And
kind of like it, but
okay, well, during June, street theatre